This is how you can make 5 to 10K per month with ease and travel the world and live the best life that you possibly can, not being a slave to working and enjoying your time. Let me break down the month of July for you as it is now coming to an end. I barely worked the entire month of July. All I did was make content in batch form, so I would record 2 or 3 videos per day, usually in the start of the week, and have it for the entire week, and then do the same thing the next week, which doesn't take that long, maybe a couple hours, 4 or 5 hours across the entire week if you add it all up. I took a couple sales calls that my setters booked in for me, and I had some client calls. That is pretty much all I did for the month of July. If we had to add up the total work that I did, was probably about 20 hours, and I made 5K, which is my worst month in the last 3 months. But the entire month, I was just going to the beach, hanging out with my friends, partying, sleeping with girls, having the most fun that I've ever had while still making 5K. And for me, in the end of the day, right now in Sweden. This is the Swedish summer. This is the peak time to be doing things. The mindset of being in Sweden is very infectious, where everyone is just out having a fun time because the Swedes get like 5 weeks off at one point. So everyone is just out partying at the beach, doing fun stuff. And I got wrapped up in it, but I still worked and I made 5K while still doing all the same things that the Swedes were doing. And I'm early on in my business career, so this is the least amount of money that I'll ever make. And whilst doing this and just getting started in my career, I made 5K this month. So let me break down how I did it. So basically, what I did was I created a personal brand around a transformation that I personally made myself, going from a shy, insecure kid who struggled with girls to being an outgoing, extroverted, confident guy who has tons of successful girls, who can travel the world and make friends with anybody, talk to any girl. That is the transformation that I've made, and all the content that I produce on my YouTube channel funnels to that core message. That is, everything that I make content around is selling that transformation. And what that does is it allows me to attract in an audience of people who want the same thing or who are on that journey themselves. And from there, I can sell them my high ticket coaching program, which is framed as a dating coaching program, but it really encompasses everything about self-improvement, developing yourself in every single way, shape, and form, and yes, getting the outcome of getting more girls. But there's so many other things that go into it, which I talk about on my videos itself, like what's in the actual content. A lot of it is quite varied between fitness, mindset, personal development. There's so many things that I talk about that go into making this transformation possible, and that's also what I teach to my coaching clients, but I digress. Basically, that is what I do, is I have a personal brand on YouTube. I funnel everyone to my coaching business, which is where I get high ticket sales. I will tell you a true story from last week. I was at a friend's barbecue, and at 11, I had a sales call. So I just brought my computer with me to this barbecue. I went upstairs to his apartment where everyone else was outside in the backyard. And I hopped on this call. I made $2,500 in 45 minutes, and I was able to go back to the barbecue and keep hanging out with my boys and talk to some girls. So that's kind of how I've been operating. And that's what I do, is I sell my high ticket program. I hop on closing calls with people who are interested in making this transformation themselves. And if they're a good fit for the program, then I will sell them. I charge right now currently $2,500 for a 3-month coaching program. And I've also got a low ticket downsell. If they couldn't afford something like that, they can get my $250 downsell, which I won't go into too much specifics. It's not too important. But that is exactly what I do, is I just post content and I funnel people to my coaching program. And now, I actually wasn't having a ton of success for a while. I wasn't having any success at all, really. I only made about 2,500, 3K in the first 7 months. But when I implemented what I'm about to tell you, that is when I had my first 9K month. So what I did was I started giving away a free lead magnet. I have many different lead magnets now, but there are different things like confidence guide, conversation mastery guide, a heartbreak guide. I just made that one recently. There's so many different things that I give away that funnels people into my coaching program. Whether they realize it or not, it's just taking that little step. So I just collect their email and phone number, and most of my business is built off of phone setting. So I was doing the phone setting myself recently this month I started to delegate it, and this is why I actually had one of my worst months, was because the first 2 weeks finding someone was kind of hard. The first person I brought on didn't do anything for a week, and I thought he was, so that kind of wasted an entire week, and I was kind of getting lazy with it, if I'm being honest. So the first 2 weeks was a little bit of a struggle, but then I got someone who's actually booking in calls for me, and now the business is back up and running. It's still not to the extent that it was when I was working it, but it's getting there. So the phone setting is huge, because every single lead that you get a phone number that you can call and then convince them to take the meeting instead of waiting for them to book it in themselves, which some people will never do. So phone setting is the most powerful thing that I have learned in this journey, which has allowed me to start making money. And I can genuinely say that I can make money at will. Like, if my life depended on it and I had to sit down and hit the phones from morning till night and I couldn't go to sleep until I closed the deal, I would be able to close a deal. I have over 3,000 leads that I've collected over the past 4 months. I can close a deal. If my life depended on it, I would sit on the phones all day and close a deal. Now, I don't know if I have that level of hustle in me right at the moment when I've got a phone setter doing a lot of the work for me, but I could. And that's the point, is I have the ability to generate money instead of waiting for my audience to book in a call or waiting for them to take action. I have the ability to speed up that process. I've captured the audience in a way that allows me to have something valuable. Their emails and their phone numbers are super valuable, because the phone setting is the main thing that I would prioritize if you're just getting started. But you can also work an email list. There's so many things that you can do from this system. So really all you're doing is giving away a free lead magnet that's tied to the video that you're talking about. So if it's like how I got insanely confident with women, I just posted that today on my main channel. There's a confidence transformation guide baked into there, and I really sell why they need to get it. And that's part of this, is marketing and sales. You got to market and sell every single one of your lead magnets so that you will get tons and tons of people grabbing them, giving you their emails and their phone numbers, and then you give them a call and book in that call manually. So that's really what has changed my life. I mean, I went from posting videos, getting 500, 1,000 views, and getting no money from it, to now making a bunch of money. And like I said, this month in July, I was genuinely just partying, hanging out with friends, going to the beach every single day. My sister is here at my family's summer house, so I was just hanging out with my sister a lot. We'd go jet skiing, we'd go to the beach too, just doing a bunch of stuff. We'd go to the gym all the time. I was just having fun this whole July, and I still managed to make 5K. So it's like, that by most standards is a pretty good income. And I did this while having the most fun that I've ever had. So that is what I believe is the best business model that you can get into, is starting a personal brand. And if you want my help on your own journey to start your own personal brand and coaching business, you can book in a free coaching call with me down below, where I can help walk you through and set everything up for you so you don't have to make all the mistakes that I did, so you can start making money right off the bat.